Hello viewers, welcome back to our show. I'm still your host Nkeiru Nwosu. Today I still have my lovely sister with me, Dr. Mercy. Dr. Mercy, you're welcome.
Thank you, Auntie MK, for inviting me again to your show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So in the last episode, we started with 4 of the mistakes parents do while parenting their children. It's a mistake. Some is what parents are supposed to do that they are not doing. It's what they are not doing that they are supposed to be doing. And number 1 is invalidating their children's emotions. So some parents believe that the child has no right to feel sad over something, or the child has felt sad enough, so they want to control how long their child should have an emotion, or the emotion should not even happen at all. So that is, it kills the child. It affects their self-image. It affects their confidence. Because they feel when something happens, they have a right to judge, okay, this is not good, and I have a right to be sad about it. Yeah. But when the parent now comes and says, oh, why should you be sad? They'll use such comments as, why are you angry? You missed your school bus and your brother caused it. Why are you angry at your brother? So it makes the child to feel, oh, so my feeling doesn't matter. It makes the child to feel not heard, unloved. It makes the child to feel insignificant. So I don't know why growing up, or if there is anything you can contribute, or if you have seen anyone.
Well, for me, I used to say to my kids, like, you have the right to be angry, but you know, as the Bible says, don't allow your anger to be too long. So for anger, for me, I also have questions to ask you.
Okay. Why
parents invalidate their children. For me, I feel as a parent, you know, sometimes you see children who are being, you know, especially the ones that are too emotional.
So some are more sensitive than the others.
Too sensitive, about just a little thing, and they take it for so long. It's okay. No, so now when you're saying invalidating
the child's emotions.
Yes, so now if you're saying, what do you think a parent should do about it?
Like, you can have 2 children. One will be very sensitive, while the other one will have very thick skin.
That's right.
So you allow the sensitive one to go through the emotion, to express.
So are you saying now, when you say you allow the child to go through the emotion, now I said if a child keeps crying and crying and you said sorry, and the child keeps crying, you know, sometimes in those days when the child keeps crying, you say sorry, the next thing you just see on your face is busa on your face.
Yeah, it happens like
you know, because you said sorry. Now, because of that agitation or irritation the child is doing, you start getting irritated. You start getting angry. That's why I asked, how do you think?
How do you handle it?
Yes, how do you handle it?
So I think it has now gone from showing emotion maybe to throwing tantrum. Maybe there is something else.
Okay.
The thing is, you just allow the child. Don't let it affect any other thing. Just allow the emotion to play through. Then maybe you watch the child. Maybe there is something else the child is going through that you as a mother, you don't even know. You cannot. They said that when someone is drowning, that is not the time to give the person a lesson on swimming. So you allow the emotions to pass through. Then you watch the child. Then maybe if it's a child that you can connect with, or you can have a discussion with, then you now ask the child, what was actually wrong with you? You build that connection instead of correction at that particular time. What the child needs is the connection. Maybe, do you know, a hug could have stopped it? That's tantrum and everything. A hug, a kiss could have stopped it. So you try everything. And if the child, you just allow the child to pass through it. Okay, like when my kids were young, I noticed that anytime they are about to fall sick, or they are about to have an infection, they are very sensitive. Little thing will make them to cry. and they will become very sensitive. They might even lose appetite. So all these things, some are medical, some are psychological, some are emotional. It might not even be what happened that is causing it. Okay. So something else might be causing it. So there is no time a parent should invalidate the child's emotions or feeling.
Like no matter what?
No matter what. Okay. You just allow them. There are other causes. There are other things that might be causing it. So you just try and find out. Try and help them. Find out what is wrong with them at that particular time. Some parents will use words like, oh, why are invalidating? Also, you use dismissive words. Some parents will use words like, it's so ridiculous for you to be crying like a baby. So that will make the child to look back and feel, so I'm not even supposed to express myself. Right. And in future, the child will grow up to be an adult that cannot express their feelings. They'll be hiding their feelings. They will not see themselves as worthy. So it reduces their self-worth. Nobody sees them, nobody hears them, because emotion is the way they express themselves. Emotion is one of the ways that we express ourselves so that we can be heard. So when you always shut down the child's emotion, it will make the child feel insignificant. Okay. It will make the child feel worthless, unvalued.
So I have a question to ask. Okay. So when the kids are angry like that, I said before, what do you think, or how do you think a parent should respond to such, like children who keep quiet when they are angry? They don't talk to you anymore. Okay. They just, yes. They just don't talk to you anymore. They keep to themselves. How do you think a parent should respond to this?
Okay, that one is the other side of it. That is a child that doesn't show emotion.
Yes.
When they are angry. Yeah. They bottle it up.
That's right.
Oh, that is not encouraging either. That is not encouraging. The parent should, when you've noticed that your child is always bottled, because the bottled up emotion will burst out, it will explode sometime. So you make the child, you also encourage the child to speak up, to voice what they are bottling up, what is in their mind.
When you say to voice, these people are people or person who doesn't want to talk to you.
They don't want to talk.
Yes, they keep to themselves.
It depends on the relationship the parents have built with the child in the past. Because now you have to start, maybe such child initially, because it can't just happen all of a sudden. Maybe the child have been used to telling, shut up, shh. The child is used to being hushed. So now the child have learned to be silent, to keep quiet, not to speak up. So make them to build that confidence that they can speak and that they are valued and that they are loved. Because for a child to shut down, it means that there is something going on in the child's mind. The child feels, if I speak, nobody will hear me, so there is no point for me to talk. So that is one of the reasons that they shut down. It's now left to the parent to give them the assurance that when they speak, something will be done, something positive will come out of it. So it's just left with the parent to make the child to speak.
So are you saying now that if, take for instance, children who want to express their anger, it is left for you as a parent to leave them to express themselves towards themselves, like a brother and a sister who is, arguing in an argument? You should leave them as a parent. You want us to leave them to quarrel?
No, argument is not safe. It's toxic. So when it's getting into a toxic situation, then the parent needs to step in.
Okay.
The parent needs to step in. Like, even as the child is expressing their anger, if you see that it's becoming dangerous,
okay,
we say something, you say that all emotions are accepted, but not all behaviors. Yeah. You can accept the emotion. The child is allowed to express their emotions, but they are not allowed to behave in a toxic manner or in an appropriate, no matter how angry you are. You just have to express your emotion all emotions should be allowed, but not all behaviors should be allowed.
Okay.
So even if you're angry, be angry, but don't misbehave.
Okay.
No matter the emotion you're showing, no matter the emotion you're expressing, express the emotion, but do not misbehave. So that should be the rule in the house. You are allowed to express your emotions. All emotions should be allowed, but not all behaviors.
Okay.
So the anger, the fighting, no. You can be angry, you can be sad, you can be happy, you can do anything, but not all behaviors should be tolerated. Yeah. The behaviors that are out of bounds, that are toxic, that are dangerous, they should not be allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When the parent continually invalidates the child's emotion, it will, like you said, it will make the child to shut down and stop expressing their emotion. It gets them to be frustrated, and they will feel irrelevant and insignificant. So their self-worth, as I said before, is affected. So what should parents rather do in situations like that? They should help the child to identify the emotion, why, the reason for them, why are they really angry, why is the child, like they say, you have to help the child to name the emotion. Parents should rather help the child to verify and authenticate their emotion, to know that it is valid and it is measurable to what happened.
So is it right to call your child and ask the child, why are you angry, as a parent?
Yeah,
okay.
It is. You should call the child and ask the child if you don't know. If it's not something that, because if it's very glaring that the mom should know, and then you're now asking the child again, the child will now be confused. But if you're not aware of what happened, you can ask, why did you come back from school and you just flung your school bag? What happened in school? Like when I was taking my children to school, that was how I identified that my first child wasn't really, how will I put it, wasn't really comfortable, or how should I put it, satisfied with schooling. That was what made me to homeschool him. He's the first out of 4 of them. So when I pick them from school, he's the one that sits beside me in the car. So anytime I pick them from school, I'll ask all of them, how are you? The way he will respond, the way he will even sink on the chair, and the way he responds, I knew there was something wrong with this boy. So I was probing. So I always ask them, how was school today? Others will be smiling, happy, but the way he will respond, so I knew that there was something wrong. So you have to be asking. You pick them from school, ask them, how was school today? How is your day? Not just you. Children, we think that as adults, we are the only ones that are going through stuff. Children they're also going through things. Not because they are kids. Then you think, oh, they've not even seen life. That's what we feel. They've not seen life. You as a parent, you feel because you're out there making the money, you go to market, you come down, you cook, then you come back, you cook, you give them, you feed them, you take them to school, then you feel they are not going through things. They are also going through things. There are things that they are trying to understand the world around them. So many things look confusing to them that they can't even let us know about.
I have a question on the female particularly. You see, some females, when they are angry, I mean the female child, the ones that are the teens, and when they're on their, their regular periods,
that's another thing. The hormone,
when the
hormonal changes,
the hormonal changes there, and they start behaving some kind of way. So now, and when they get angry, they react, in a violent way, or in a way that you as a parent wouldn't understand. Now, how do you think a parent should react?
Okay, another thing is
kind of anger
for the mother and the male daughters and the female children. Okay, the mother should know when such is happening. You should be close to your daughter and know when, I call it visitor, when their visitor is coming, and you should know how it affects your daughter. And another thing is diet. Diet also helps to control. Dr. Mercy, you should know. You should tell us more about that. Why am I even the one talking about it? My dear doctor it's her area of specialization. Now
I wanted to know, because your area of specialization also is psychology. So I wanted you to elaborate more on it.
Oh yeah, I can help. I can say it because I've heard. I have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Okay, so when that time of their month comes, it makes them feel very sensitive, very emotional. Little thing triggers them. Some might even start crying. They'll be uninterested in so many things.
That was why I was even asking you the question, because from the beginning you said little thing triggers them, and you as a parent, because you've been on your period before, you begin to be like, oh, what is this? Are you the first person?
Oh no. So some mothers invalidate it. No, it's not right.
That's why I asked, how do you think a parent should react towards those kind of people?
You should help them when they are going through that period. And also diet. Some are more serious than others, and in such cases the diet. And you should know, I think sugary things don't help. There are some things that the child should eat, should avoid eating for that period. Then the mother should also help the child. Some they have to rest, they don't have to do a lot of things. Some might even need to miss school. Some might miss helping out with the chores. You help the child just for a few days, highest a week, then the child will be back to normal. It's okay.
Thank you so much, because I feel like that particular topic, that particular point, most parents miss it.
No.
Because I also, when we're growing up, nobody cares if when you're
doing they don't even care.
Your period, when you're doing all of that, you will still do the chores. You will still do the chores.
Even if you're rolling on your head.
So I like that you are actually pointing it out. And
no, you see, like today's parenting is different from what we went through. Like now, you see, mental health issue is now a global issue. Little thing. I was surprised. Like when I was going through school, when I was in school, nobody cares. You have to study. But now my children will now tell me, oh, my mental health, I will not study. I'll study by this time. Mental health issue is now being taken very seriously. So parents of nowadays, children of nowadays, they are lucky to have parents that are even listening to all these mental health things and things that will help them to develop very well for the sake of their mental health. So parents should rather help their children to authenticate, to verify their feelings, their emotions, rather than invalidating it. They should help them. Oh, I understand why you're feeling this way. It makes the child to feel loved. It makes the child to feel heard. It makes the child to feel valued. Instead of, why should you? Are you the only one? This little thing, is that why you want to do this? Is that no? So when you should help the child to authenticate their feelings so that they will know that they are valued and that they are loved. So instead of the parents saying to the child that is angry at the brother for making him to miss the school bus and maybe going to school late, or making him to miss his soccer practice, or made him to go late, and then the parents will say, oh, is that just why you're angry at your brother? The parents can now say, oh, I understand why you're angry at your brother. He made you to be late for your school bus and made you to be late to school, or he made you to be late for your soccer practice. I understand, but please forgive him. You know he didn't mean it to happen that way. So that will make the child to be valued. That makes the child to, oh, so I was right to be angry, so I'm not mistaken. So it validates the child's sense of judgment, because the child have judged this is wrong, so this is the feeling I should have towards it. But if the parent now say you don't have any right to be angry, it makes the child to feel, so I'm not a good judge. I did not judge what my brother did to me correctly. Do you understand? So it helps them also to learn emotional regulation, because if every time the parent is shutting down the child's feeling, shutting it down, so it makes the child not to be emotional intelligence. The child will not learn the skills for emotional intelligence, emotional regulation, and emotional awareness. So the child will grow up not knowing how to handle emotions. Maybe the child will now be bottling up their emotion, and then the child will now become an adult that cannot relate or build healthy relationship with people. Because when you build relationship with people, it depends on our emotion. Our emotion, we are emotional beings. We are all emotional beings. So that is it, Dr. Mercy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming to join us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your time coming to join us on today's show. So viewers, this is where we come to the end of today's episode. I was with my dear sister, Dr. Mercy. Please kindly follow us if you're yet to do so, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I still remain your host, Nkeiru Nwosu. Thank you.